Kind from Open Banking Excellence. Okay. Hi, James.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, so my name is James Kind. I'm the Growth Manager at Open Banking Excellence, the largest global community of over 34,000 open banking and open finance pioneers from across financial services, including banks, regulators, fintech companies, policymakers, and big tech. Last week, it was an absolute delight to welcome the Talk team to London for UK FinTech Week to launch their cross-borders Payment Innovation Challenge. And I want to congratulate eMerchant Pay, Fondi and We Payments on their presentations last week, and wish you all the best with your pitches later this afternoon. And I speak for all of us at OBE. We're excited to see the impact that you'll have on the financial market for the greater good. Today, I'd like to share with you a little more about OBE, so who we are, the work we're doing in Brazil, and then provide you some insights following the launch of our Global Open Finance Index, which is a pioneering piece of industry research, providing by far the most detailed, data-driven perspective on the global state of play of open banking and open finance. But before I do that, it's an opportune moment to firstly recognise the tremendous growth of the Brazilian open banking system, which has truly flourished and something that you should all be incredibly proud to be part of. Brazil has established itself as a global leader in open finance, and the future for you is very bright indeed. I think in terms of the opportunity for Brazilian fintechs is huge. The traditional financial institutions alone won't be able to cover all the new ground that open finance will open up, making the country a great place for fintechs to play, and really shines a light on why this cross-border payments innovation challenge is so important, and leading by example with the opportunity for new open finance players to develop innovative and inclusive products and services which align with the four main objectives set out by the Central Bank of Brazil: encouraging innovation, promoting competition, increasing efficiency in credit and payment markets, and finally promoting financial citizenship. So in January 2018, the UK became the birthplace for open banking. Since that moment just 5 years ago, the blueprint created in Britain has inspired nations around the world to launch their open banking and finance journeys. Our community, is knowledgeable, generous, collaborative, and is always eager to share what we have learned so far. But more than that, we're also looking forward to all the learning we will get from our Brazil family as well. Today, one of the ecosystems we are most excited about is evolving at a breathtaking speed in Brazil. And we're thrilled here at OBE to be at the forefront of a relationship that the UK and Brazil are building in the field of fintech and open banking. And we're honoured to have developed strong ties with several leading pioneers across the country in this exciting space. You are poised to continuous mass adoption, which will certainly open up a multitude of opportunities for innovation, consumer-centric financial services, competition, and economic activities, which we're delighted to support and be part of. There's a lot of work that we've already done behind the scenes already, and our founder, Helen Child, will always shine a light and say, whenever we talk with other regulators around the world, they always kind of ask us, what has Brazil done to move so quickly? It's clear, that the industry around us is watching what is happening in Brazil. Everybody in the ecosystem should be incredibly proud of the infrastructure that is being built and the difference it's making in people's real lives. And both the government and central bank, are working to build the regulatory environment which allows open finance to grow. I think crucially as well, officials are also stepping back to let the market do its magic and drive new ideas through collaboration and competition. And it's truly evident you have an agile and innovative regulator. As such, we anticipate that open banking will trigger much greater cooperation between the Brazilian banking system and fintech startups, resulting in a better suite of financial products and services. Brazil has the fastest open banking adoption rate of any country in history, which is just one of the many reasons why the world is paying close attention. Take, for example, Pix, the current protagonist of the instant payment disruption, who launched in November 2020 and now is the most used payment method in the country. I have to say that, I mean, that is astonishing progress, but it's only the beginning of our Brazilian family's embrace of open finance. And we'll continue to work closely with you. And our founder was kindly invited by the British consulates last year to Sao Paulo to share our learnings from the UK. And we're delighted to be part of your continued growth trajectory, and we're excited to see what's next. So February this year, of course, marks the second anniversary of open finance in Brazil. And it's been an incredible story that has seen Brazil move from being a relatively newcomer on the global scene to being one of the leading open banking markets in the world. Despite being relatively newcomers to the open banking scene, the LATAM region is moving fast. Brazil reached the 5 million connected accounts mark less than a year after the first implementation deadline passed, a feat which took, between 4 and 5 years in the UK. And whilst there are, far fewer service providers than there are in the UK and European markets, the principles of reciprocity that are, baked into the regulatory context appear to be, really creating a flourishing ecosystem. This was certainly evident from our pioneering piece of research in our Global Open Finance Index report. The report, which was delivered alongside Accenture and NatWest, the DIT, and was supported by research from the University of Oxford and data from the World Bank, analysed 23 countries across more than 150 aspects to identify the component parts of a successful open banking ecosystem. It found that whilst the UK was still seen as a global leader, countries like Brazil were moving faster and are likely to eclipse the UK in the near future. The feedback that we've had globally already about our index has been overwhelming, with over 1,000 downloads already, and also appearing in the Financial Times, Bloomberg, CNN, the Wall Street Journal, just to name a few. And I'll ensure that a link to this report is sent to all of you who are in attendance today. And it really does kind of set the tone for Brazil as one of the frontiers in the space to continue to flourish. A key finding from this report was that whilst regulatory mandates help nascent ecosystems to establish themselves, it is fundamental that the participants find mutually beneficial arrangements beyond the mandates in order for the ecosystems to thrive. So the Brazilian Central Bank, it's certainly laid out a solid foundation for different companies and sectors to interact in a digital space, and has opened the Brazilian market up to, connect with leading countries in the field. Take, for example, the Financial Technology Innovation Laboratory, LIFT, which is a program that aims to, of course, promote technological innovation financial activities to reduce the cost of credit, enhance the efficiency of the national financial system, and promote financial citizenship, launched back in May 2018. The coordination of the LIFT by the central bank, has enabled it to appraise the impacts of financial regulation and acknowledge the hurdles regarding, the use of technological innovation under the current regulatory framework. So going back to our index, this was built using a number of unique data sets, each designed to complement, the others, which include surveys, interviews, and secondary data. And it was created at the request of regulators, policymakers, and chief executives globally, and had key aims from this piece of research. So firstly, an authentic benchmark. The index acts as a beacon for anyone who has an interest in open finance, and this index will be updated every year and will be an authentic benchmark referred to by regulators and industry bodies, governments, fintech, financial institutions, and academia. It will provide useful insights for businesses looking for global outreach. Secondly, use cases. So the index highlights unique use cases, business models, and it provides commentary on gaps and opportunities and recommendations from first-class industry experts. A use case that certainly we're particularly proud of to showcase here in the UK, and arguably the best in the world, is HMRC, making history by becoming the first tax authority in the world to integrate open banking into their systems. The EcoSpend powered service uses validated and pre-populated payment details, enabling payments directly from a payer's bank account, with more than 3 million customers having used the technology already to make in excess of 14 billion worth of tax payments to HMRC as of March this year. Thirdly, so in relation to the index, the country growth journeys. So in the report, the scores that we will give or have given to countries in the index is not a reflection of winners or losers, but it will give readers an indication of the journey countries are taking in the open banking and open finance space. Data from our survey allowed us to understand the market posture of the countries that we analysed. Markets with similar characteristics were grouped together to create 4 key groups: the leaders, the movers, the planners, and the watchers. And finally, industry benchmarking. So this index will be an industry benchmarking tool that can be used to track the journey of open finance towards open data and open life. I encourage everyone when they have read, the copy of our index, to take a look at chapter 16, where you can explore the wealth of data behind the index using our smart interactive infographics. The underlying data from the index has the capacity to deliver groundbreaking insights in the space and will be used to also underpin future analysis from the OBE team. These infographics, they enable our community to come up, with their own conclusions in the meantime, and we hope, you get as much out of them as we have put into making them. So definitely take a look when you come to read the index itself. So finally, one action I'd love to leave you all with today is to not only view our Global Open Finance Index, but also visit our OBE websites to see the work that we're doing in Brazil and see how you can get involved in our community conversation. We are the global centre of community and knowledge, driving change in open finance. And we come together, share ideas on open finance, and we acknowledge that knowledge sharing goes both ways, and we're one big family that can learn from each other. We've always believed in, the strength and power of a community. I think the pandemic certainly emphasised this for us like never before. And our collaboration and conversations continually keep the open banking industry connected and supported, driving them towards growth and innovation. I think as the Brazilian open banking ecosystem flourishes, so has our OBE community. So our campfires across the course of 2022 have grown significantly in terms of audience. So in January, we also relaunched our Brazilian open banking hub, after seeing traffic to our Brazil content jump by more than 3 times over the year. The new hub provides an easy to navigate home for all our thought leadership work relating to Brazil and acts as a quick reference point for our Brazil familia. OBE has several initiatives to keep the community engaged on a continual basis, and campfires are part of these. An OBE campfire is a gathering of the community based on the industry hot topics and debated by the expert panel members representing diverse organisations. And it's a fantastic way of bringing our community together to speak about red hot relevant debates and insights which are designed to educate and inspire. These are all in Portuguese as well, and can be described as a big tent conversation, and we'd love to welcome you all to these. Previous Brazil campfires include covering topics such as financial inclusion, payment initiation, breaking barriers, speaking about the ongoing challenges, opportunities, and key learnings. Here at OBE, we're always, keen to, work with organisations to raise their profile within the Brazil ecosystem and our global community, shine a light on, their use cases, and position organisations at the forefront of ecosystem engagement surrounding topics that are making impact within the space. With that, there are, community sponsorship available, opportunities that are available. And if you are interested in learning about how you can get further involved in our community conversation, you can email me and you'll have all my contact details on the email that's sent to you, which includes, of course, our copy of the Global Open Finance Index. So I'd like to end this again by saying congratulations to all 3 finalists. Excited to hear your pitches, and I hope you all take away the message that as a country, you've really laced up your trainers, You've got things done, which is highly commendable. And here at OBE, we're delighted to be part of your country's amazing success. So thank you all.